What's it been like working with Chip Kelly so far, Seth?
It's been awesome. He's coached a lot of good guys, and you can really tell the knowledge, and he has a ton of excitement to coach us, which is awesome.
It's funny. Oh, go ahead.
Get into the competition between you and Carson. How's that going? Like, are you running? It looked like you were going first the majority of the time when we were out here last time. Just how's that competition going at 7?
I don't really look at it as a competition. Me and Carson, we're good friends. I think the best 5 guys are going to play, whatever that may be, and I'm thankful that's not my decision to make. That's the coaches. But it's been good. There's not really a ones group. There's not really a twos group. There's not really a threes group. We're kind of getting reps with each different group, everybody. So that's not just the centers. It's every single position.
Yeah, that's during the spring. What's been the biggest adjustment about this team compared to the one you were playing for the last several years? So being here, the privilege I had at Alabama is that we never had to change the playbook, even though I had 3 different offensive coordinators, so we had the same terminology. So being here, it's new tools, new terminology, so that's really the biggest adjustment. But other than that, it's been pretty smooth. Do you count that you played under Bill O'Brien again for like 3 weeks? Does that count?
I mean, I played with him for 2 years, so
yeah,
I guess it counts.
And how many OCs have you played under? I'm trying to think.
I played with Sarkisian my freshman year, and then I played with Coach O'Brien, and then Coach Reese.
And then now.
Coach Day.
What sets Chip apart, in your opinion? What's different about him compared to those guys?
I don't know. I don't really do comparisons, but I just really love the energy that he brings, and he's a brilliant offensive mind. But I don't really get into comparisons.
What about things? You say he's a brilliant offensive mind. Kind of take us. What are you seeing in there that's different or brilliant about him?
Seeing some cool run plays, kind of the coaching points he gives us on certain things. You're like, hey, I didn't think about it that way. So it's kind of just pieces that hit your mind different, and really what works and what grabs the guys' attention on certain coaching points.
So it feels like things are going to be like, I don't know, you're not in mid-season form yet, but you feel like you're really coming together in that sense as well?
Every team, it's 9 practices into spring ball. So you don't really know yet because, like I said earlier, there's a lot of shuffling around. So it's really about each guy just having to take the steps to get better at their technique and fundamentals.
Seth, you talked about it a little bit when we first got here. Ryan talked about how there was a cadence issue last year, and nothing has shown them that you have stopping issues. How easy has it been for you this spring to get back into it and put everything behind you and just focus on playing football?
Yeah, right there at the end, that's really the key, is that last year happened, can't go back and control what happened, but this year I can put my best foot forward and be the best center or offensive lineman that I can be, and that's really all I can control now going forward.
I don't want you to bash Jalen or whatever. You're not going to say anything bad about Jalen Morrow, but what is it about Will and Devin that, I don't know, maybe is different that you've seen that maybe helps you a little bit with the snapping? Is there something with the cadence, or was it just a mental thing? Or now that you're back on the field, we're not just doing winter workouts and asking you about these things. What has it been that's gotten you back on track?
I really like the verbal cadence. I think that's been really nice. As a center, you can get the time up, when you're going to have to snap it. If you get a wide 80, you have that whole thing to, kind of load up, and when you're going to snap the ball, rather than, waiting just for a clap. So I've enjoyed that part. But on the quarterbacks, again, I don't really get into comparisons. It's really just the offensive systems.
For us, we don't. Sorry, I know we don't really know a lot of the semantics when it comes to snapping. So we hear that it's a cadence thing, or lack thereof. What does that even mean? So is that all it is just the rhythm of how it's being said to you and how you can kind of time it up to get the snap down, and how much does that help you actually get it back?
I think you kind of attribute it to a golf swing. Imagine going to the top of your backswing and not knowing when to come down and hit the ball. So that was something I kind of struggled with last year. But now going forward, I'm super excited with what we're doing now.
So you know how to speak to it. With the golf swing, you know what to talk about.
Yeah.
How different is this? How are you settling in, and how is the brotherhood kind of playing itself in this time?
I'm absolutely head over heels, just so happy. It's been super refreshing being here. I love the guys in this locker room, truly. Every single guy throughout every single position group has been so open and welcoming and just really loving. And they know that where I came from, and I think they have respect for that, and I hope that they can see that I can add to this team in a positive way.
I talked to your dad, and he mentioned how much you can bring to the league already. It can be a saying for a lot of people, but when you actually see it from the inside, what is that like to realize that you do?
So yeah, I mean, I've been on many teams, and each team has its own identity, and I could tell the first day I stepped in here that the guys really do care about each other. We go through a lot of hard stuff together, and that brings everybody together. It's kind of just embracing the suck together, and I think the guys do a great job of bringing people in, and they really make us one of their own. It feels like I've been here for 4 years the way they've accepted me, so I've loved that.
That is a big part of it, right? It's kind of the commiserating with the suffering. Hey, that's part of the process, right? I mean, does that make it easier because you're all kind of going through it?
Yeah, definitely. If you're doing this on your own, like, it's hard to even go do one of these workouts when you're by yourself. The amount of discipline and toughness that takes to, do it by yourself. But when you're with guys, like, I'm looking across at all the other guys in the room, and they're, embracing it, and that kind of motivates you to step your game up and not let those guys down.
You've played at two of the premier programs in the country, obviously. I don't know that you can describe culture differences, but can you? I mean, how is this place different than Alabama?
I don't know. There's not a lot different. There's a high standard at both places when I was there. But here, I think Coach Meg does an incredible job in the weight room, kind of making that culture around, fighting to be your best, fighting to take the next step. And, that culture of fight has just been awesome. It really hits the mind good, and it really, all the guys buy into that.
Seth, what's it been like playing next to Luke? What have you seen from Luke so far this spring?
Luke's a tremendous athlete. He's a good guy. He's, really striving to get better. And I think, all those guys in those positions really have to take the next step to do better. And I think they're all doing a really good job of, taking Coach Fry's advice and taking each step going forward.
And then to compare that to playing next to Don, what's that? He's an experienced guy. Luke's not. You have experience on your left side, a little bit of inexperience, but maybe ignorance is bliss on that side. And, what has that been like for you to push-pull between playing with a veteran and with somebody, right beside you on either side, veteran, inexperienced?
Yeah, Donovan's a great player. I mean, he's been all Big Ten for however long. He's started 3 years. With the inexperienced part, it all goes away if you communicate well. Everybody knows what they're doing, especially if you communicate. And if everybody knows what they're doing, then you're going to have success.
Hey, Seth, tell me about Run the Damn Ball.
So I'd always worn this hat going through high school and wearing it in college. Last year I made my own NIL thing, and I donated the money to West Alabama Food Bank. And I think I'm going to try to start that up here. I have a hat that says Run the Damn Ball, and we're going to try to figure out a foundation to work with on that.
Is there a better mentality for an offensive line to have?
No, I love it. I mean, that's kind of, embracing what's hard. If you can run the ball, you can win football games. And if you can't, you're probably not going to win big football games. So offensive lines really have to buy into being able to run the ball and doing whatever it takes to help the team succeed.
Seth, Josh Simmons came last year after spring practice, had 1 year at San Diego State. You played multiple years at Alabama. You're having a spring practice. Can you kind of imagine how difficult, what the challenge would be coming here after spring practice and starting next year at that tackle?
Yeah, that's a testament to his work ethic, and there is a lot to gain from having this spring ball, not really having the pressure of, I have to game plan for a game in a few weeks. Now we can really polish the techniques, really dive into what Coach Fry is coaching on each of the techniques and figuring out how to apply those tools going forward. So for his ability to step in and go through fall camp and earn that spot, that's really a testament to him.
What are your impressions of him so far?
He's a freak athlete. He's a tremendous athlete. One of the best athletes on the offensive line I've seen throughout my career. And, I expect big things from him, and I know he expects big things from himself.
All right, Seth. Thank you, buddy.
All right.